I'm Gabe Hermanson, and today I'm joined by head coach of the men's lacrosse team, Kyle McQuillan. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm good, thanks.
Let's get right to it. You're from Canada. Hockey is the biggest sport in Canada. In club sports, D1 men's hockey is the biggest sport. So why lacrosse? What got you into the sport of lacrosse?
It wasn't until really kind of late in high school that I kind of picked up the sport, and it was something to do in the off season. Actually played nothing but football growing up in Canada. Never learned to skate, never played hockey a day in my life. So it's funny because now being down here, people hear you're Canadian and they just assume, and being in club sports, they just assume I'm associated with the hockey program in some way, but just never actually had the opportunity nor really the desire. My dad was a football guy and played lacrosse in the summer, so I kind of followed suit, and playing box lacrosse up in Canada was kind of our bread and butter, and coming down to Liberty, just again, kind of an opportunity fell in my lap to be able to pick up lacrosse again, and was always kind of a secondary sport to football, but hockey was never a dream of mine to get out on the ice. So
You didn't want to play football here, or?
That was the pipe dream. That's what got the attention of mine. My dream was to get out of Canada and go south and play football, and Liberty being a Christian school and having a football program and where it is now in comparison to where it was when I had aspirations of playing football, it was a little bit more realistic, but still a bit of a stretch given the size and stature that I have. But that was the initial interest in the university, and that's kind of what got my attention. And God used a lot of different reasons and ways to kind of get me here, and it's a big long story that I think God's right in the center of. So.
And I went on the spring break trip with you guys last year to Florida State University in Tallahassee, and it was 3 games, 4 days. And I know you don't want to talk about it, but that Florida State game,
yeah.
It was, last second, it was 17-16, and you guys just didn't execute. But after that game, I saw something unique in the guys. The guys really, in the hotel, they just like bonded. What did you see after that game that helped, you guys just grow up as a team?
Yeah, I think every team's a little bit different, and some teams just need to kind of get punched in the mouth every once in a while. And for us, it was a good team that we played, and the guys fought hard. I don't think that we played exceptionally well, but it just kind of brought us back down to earth a little bit, and it showed us a team that we knew that we could beat, but if we gave them an opportunity, that they would take it, and that's what Florida State did. And the good news is that's been a rivalry that we've had for the last 3 years. It's been fantastic. We've traded wins and losses with them. I think we're undefeated at home, they're undefeated at home, and thankfully we've met them in the playoffs twice and been able to come away with 2 victories. But having them come back here to Lynchburg this season and play us here at home, and it's quickly turning into one of our biggest rivalries, and a game that I know the guys are really looking forward. So it's an opportunity at redemption, but I think at the same time last year what it did for us is just it brought us back down to earth and showed us that we weren't going to be able to win by just showing up and being good lacrosse players, but we had to kind of come together as a team and play together, and I think the guys did a much better job of that for the remainder of the season last year after that game.
And that same class, they graduated, but they went 4 years not losing the game at home.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a whole new team, a lot of new guys this year. Is that winning at home still the main focus, or is building those guys up one day at a time?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year, and I say interesting not because I'm not confident in the success that I know that we can have, but just being as young as we are, and we've got a 30-man roster, and 15 of these guys didn't play for us last year. So I think it speaks really well to our future. I think that we've got the most talented freshman class that we've ever had, but just again, at the end of the day, they're just so young. So it's really just going to depend on these guys and how quickly they bond, how quickly they buy in and they get what we're trying to do here. And I think they have, and the fall's been a great opportunity for us to put some of those pieces together. And again, I'm optimistic. The coaching staff is really optimistic about what we can accomplish, but we're just going to have to see, because again, with it being such a young team, it's just going to we're just going to have to see once we get out into the season and start playing some games and see how quickly we come together as a unit.
And like just being a coach and being a father, like how do you balance the two between just family and coaching?
Yeah, I mean I think the overwhelming majority of our coaches here have jobs and families, so I mean I'm definitely not unique in this situation, and it's a lot of planning and conversations, specifically with the wife beforehand, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that she's a consultant when I'm starting to build out the schedule for each year. So I think it's just being open and having the conversations that need to be had, and dedicating and prioritizing the time both for the team and for your family. And sometimes that can be difficult, and there's seasons in which it's a lot more difficult. I know right now is a bit of a quiet time, so I'm trying to bank as much dad and husband time as I can, because once the spring hits, it's going to shift pretty quickly. But I think anybody who's able to coach and have a family has to have the support of their wife and their spouse and their kids, and I've had that since day one, and it's been really the only reason I've been able to have the success I think that we've been able to have. So
good luck the rest of this year. We'll be cheering you on. That's head coach Kyle McQuillan.